Hi guys, my name is Joe. Welcome to Delta Armory. I'm super excited to get this video rolling. This is going to be our first video and it's going to cover how to clean the Glock. So this video is going to appeal to our first time gun owners and also our seasoned veteran Glock owners. So let's get started. So first of all, we want to make sure our Glock is clear. So let's lock the slide back. So you can see our firearm is clear. I'm going to check, visually check, and tactilely check. So I'm going to go ahead and check. There's nothing here. I'm going to drop the slide. What I'm going to do, I'm going to point the firearm in the same safe direction, pull the trigger, and we are all good. So how to take down the Glock. What I like to do, I'm a righty. So I take my hand and put it on the frame, wrap my fingers around the top of the frame. Now pull the frame back about 1/8 of an inch. And I don't know if you guys can see these takedown levers here. I'm gonna show it to my camera here. One here, the other one's on the other side. What you wanna do is you wanna pull them down and let the slide go, and it will just free itself up. Now, we take our slide and frame. Now what you wanna do, you go ahead and compress the recoil spring, take that out, put that aside, and now push the barrel in and lift that up. Now, we have our firearm field stripped, and that is all the pieces to it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. And pretty much now what I like to do, I take a napkin. Now go ahead and wipe everything down. So there's no excess carbon buildup or anything that's left. So I'll start, like I said, I'll go ahead and wipe everything off. Pretty much start with the recoil spring because it literally requires no maintenance. So you just wipe the dirt away, right? Put a very light coat of oil on there and you're all set. So we're pretty much done with our recoil spring here. And I'm gonna go ahead and wipe my barrel so we don't have any excess carbon buildup. Got that done. Now our slide, same thing. Go ahead and use your napkin and dry all the oil and get all that excess carbon buildup out. We're not doing anything crazy right now. All we are doing here is just we're taking whatever is excess off. So we got that dry. Now our frame, we're gonna do the same thing. Go ahead and go in there and take all that extra lube and all that nasty carbon buildup out. Going with the slide. So now, since we have everything clean and semi-clean and dry, I'm gonna go ahead and use my solvent to clean my barrel because it's gonna take some time for it to soak in and do its magic. So today what I'm using is the Hops 9 solvent. I mean, you can use any quality solvent, it doesn't really matter. That's what I'm using here. So I'm gonna go with our Hops 9. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my provided cleaning rod and a patch, and I'm gonna soak it in Hops 9 and run it through the barrel. So here's our proprietary cleaning rod that was provided by Glock. Thank you, Glock. So, and I'm gonna grab my patch here. So just one patch. I'm gonna go ahead and take one patch, and you basically get it soaked, run it through the rod, get it soaked, but not too much. Make sure just enough. And all you have to do is just take this, run it through the barrel a couple of times. Go ahead and get that barrel soaked. Once it's soaked, you can let the solvent sit and do its magic. What I also like to do, I take the solvent here. Now go ahead and run it all over the barrel so it works his magic outside of the barrel too. And you can see that there's a lot of buildup on the crown there, crown area. You want to get all that stuff out. So now we got the barrel soaking. We leave that there. We're going to come back to that later. So what I like to do also is take a napkin and use our Hops 9 solvent here. Fold it over. Do 2 dips because why not? And I'll go ahead and run it on our slide here. So what's this gonna do is it's gonna take basically all the excess oil and the carbon buildup, and it's gonna break that down for us. So it's gonna make our life a lot easier when we are drying and cleaning the gun. And I'm gonna get to some key points of where to lube it, and I'm gonna lube this firearm with Glock specifications. So whatever Glock tells me to do, that's what I'm gonna follow in this video, with a little extra stuff, what I like to do. So on the frame, I don't use this because I don't think it's necessary to use it in the frame. I'm gonna actually go ahead and start using a brush to brush everything down to get whatever is excess buildup on the frame. So I like to point it upside down and I brush the inside of the frame. So to pretty much get whatever is dirty out. Once you do that, we are pretty much done with the slide. And I mean the frame, I'm sorry. And we're gonna lube the frame, but I'm gonna come back to it. So we're pretty much done with this guy. So let me get these out of the frame here. So what I like to do now is I take a napkin and I'll actually dry everything with that napkin, since that solvent did its job and it's ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and just dry my whole slide. So we are ready to lube that. And pretty much I am showing how to clean the firearm in a basic steps. I am gonna be making another video where we're gonna have advanced disassembly. So Glock does not recommend doing that, but it is something you would have to do if you're willing to install some aftermarket pieces, or if you really want to get your Glock clean, you can go ahead and do that. And I'm gonna make instructions on how to do that. So now this slide, as you can see here, is pretty much clean here. If you guys can see it. And you could see that my slide is Cerakoted, and that is because I had some rusting issues, and I'll get to that in another video where I'm going to be reviewing my everyday carry Glock. But so we're done pretty much with the frame and the slide. Now what I like to do is still use this napkin and dry our barrel here, the outside, and that is pretty much going to take care of the outside for cleanliness. And then what I like to do here, I'll actually go ahead and grab my brush, my cleaning rod, proprietary brush that Glock provides us, and I get to put that in there. So go ahead and screw that in. You don't have to screw it all the way in, and just run that thing through the barrel, just up and down, right? Maybe you do have to screw it all the way in, so you don't want to break that brush. It's very tight here. So you can go ahead and do that, and that'll just break down whatever the solvent couldn't break down, any leading or excess carbon buildup. This will take care of. So I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but the barrel now is semi-clean, and I'm going to work on that with a little more solvent here. So what I'm going to do is actually unscrew this brush, and I'm going to take another patch and get that soaked twice and run it through the barrel again. And you know, I don't want to sit here and make you guys watch me run 30 patches through the barrel, but you would repeat this process and run the patches through pretty much till they come out clean. So what you want to do is you want to run a wet patch, and you go ahead and use the brush to run it through, and you'll take a clean patch and also the same way run it through and just run it through the barrel. And once that comes out clean, and as you can tell that our barrel is pretty much almost clean after shooting 100 rounds, Now, we can get to our lubing part. One of the most important things you'll have to do is keep your firearm lubricated, because if you don't, you can damage your firearm, or you can have malfunctions, which you don't want to have. So if we can get to oil here. So what I like to use is a gunfighter gun oil. I prefer it because it's fully synthetic. It has no additives. It doesn't smell like anything, and it doesn't get tacky, nor it just dissipates. So that's what I'm going to be using, but you can use any quality oils, like any CLP or anything like that, whatever you prefer. So after we have dried everything, Glock suggests that we put a drop of oil on the barrel, right? So you want to put a drop here and just spread it all across the barrel. And they also suggest putting a drop on top of the barrel. So what I'm going to use my finger. I'm going to go ahead and run that oil all over the barrel. Get it nice and wet. And then you want to take a drop and put it on top. That's what Glock recommends. And what I also do on top of the Glock's recommendation, I put right here where the barrel would contact the locking block. So I'm going to put a drop here and spread that on the side of the barrel, and our barrel is good to go. Now, what I like to do, also what Glock recommends, you oil the slides. No oil should ever go into the striker channel nor the plunger here, okay? So what I like to do is I take a drop and drop here, drop there, and let that thing run down the slide. So you can also speed that process up by just using your finger and run it down. More loop here. Down. And here you want to drop that inside the slide here. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. You go ahead and drop it right in the middle here. Drop, drop, and go ahead and run that thing across, because you want to lube that so that the slide is lubricated and your contact points, like the barrel, the top of the barrel is riding down the slide, and when it's riding, you have the least friction possible. Now, Glock also tells us that we need to put a drop of oil, you guys can see it here, right into this connector. So that's where your trigger, while you pull your trigger, your connector will be inside here. So it'll be going back and forth. So you want to make sure that's lubed. So another thing why I like this gunfighter gun oil, it comes with this needle, which makes it super easy to just get in there and drop a nice amount of oil. And I like to do just run that oil in there, and that is pretty much it on the lubing part. I like to keep it simple, nice and dry as possible, because the more oil you use that's excess, it's just going to attract more dirt and carbon buildup. But you want to make sure that you get light oil on top of the locking block here and on the sides, and you don't want to pretty much get any oil anywhere else. So we can put the firearm back in the reverse order. So I like to just run it through to see how lubed it is, and I don't know if you can hear that, but it's pretty lubed here. I'll go ahead and drop my recoil spring back in, just lightly put some oil in it, and that's all it needs. And we're gonna go ahead and put our firearm back. So you want to just line those two lines here with the frame, and go ahead and pull it back so you hear the click, and it will click. Now, one thing you should do, cycle the firearm, see if it works well. See, you can lock it back, so you'll lock back the firearm by pushing this up with your thumb, pulling the slide back, and you can see it locks back. Perfect. All right, let's check the trigger. Let's pull it together so you can see. If we hit the wall here, go ahead and pull it. Okay, if it works perfectly fine. Now hold the trigger, rack the slide. Now we're checking the reset. If it resets well, resets all good. You can pull the trigger. So the firearm's working and it's in good condition. All right, guys, that will conclude our Glock 19 Gen 4 cleaning video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can keep updated on our latest videos. We are going to be doing a giveaway once we hit 10,000 subscribers. It's going to be a PS5 Link is going to be down in the description below. Guys, train hard, stay sharp, and stay tactical. Have a great day.